I'd like to hand over to Nina and Sergey, who are going to conduct the webinar on our behalf. Thanks, Nina.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Hello everybody. We are glad to have you at our webinar about centralized database system on the base of NumberOk META software for ANPR data from Hanwha cameras. As you know, FF Group is a software vendor, and we are a leader at the Edge solution, and we created ANPR application for license plate recognition and make and model and color and vehicle type recognition for Hanwha cameras. We work in different regions, and in South Africa, our partner is company Extravision. And today we have such a mutual webinar, and we would like to tell you about this server-based software NumberOk META, which can be a part of systems for ANPR cameras Hanwha. So let's start. I will describe some use cases, and my colleague Sergey Datko will show us how to connect ANPR camera Hanwha to NumberOk META and how to make settings, etc. And if you have any question, please, you are welcome. You can write us, you can interrupt us, and we'll be glad to answer to your question. NumberOk META is a data management system for ANPR cameras, and it can support ANPR cameras Hanwha. And let's start from the NumberOk model range. In brief, NumberOk is a server-based software, and it can work with any IP camera, and it has 4 types: Light, SMB, Enterprise, and NumberOk META, and 2 models. It can be just software for license plate recognition, or it can be software for license plate recognition and make, model, and color and vehicle type recognition. NumberOk Lite is a basic version, and it can recognize license plate and make and model and color and vehicle type and send this recognized metadata to a third-party software. If you need to have some server-based software for access control and parking management, you need to choose NumberOk SMB or NumberOk SMB MMCR. If you are working in project like Safe City, traffic, you need to choose server-based software NumberOk Enterprise, which has a built-in module for traffic rule control, for control of red light running, average speed calculation, double line crossing, movement in prohibited direction, etc. And Reporter is a Windows distant desktop client if you need to get remote access to NumberOk. And blue one, NumberOk META, it's a server-based software which can receive metadata from ANPR cameras. So we have recognition directly in the processor of standard Hanwha camera, and this camera can recognize license plate or license plate and make and model, and send recognized metadata to the server where we have NumberOK META. And let's go further. Why do you need to choose NumberOK META as a backend solution for ANPR cameras? First of all, because it can work simultaneously up to 64 ANPR cameras. So if you have many ANPR cameras and you need to get it in one system, you need to use a NumberOK META, and due to it, you will have a common database. Also, you will be able to make reporting, to set up alerts and reactions for the whole system from NumberOK META. NumberOK META also can be used for sending ANPR metadata to the third-party software via Open APR protocol. NumberOK META can work as a server. It has built-in access control logics. It can manage external models. It means you can open barriers, gates, etc. Comfortable delivery, no dongle, we have electronic license key, and really fast installation. And possibility to use NumberOK META on the pilot project when you need to have full-featured demo version up to 30 days. Please pay attention that for demo working, you need to have a permanent internet connection. Also, NumberOK META can work on virtual PC. NumberOK META general features. First of all, it's common database and data management for ANPR cameras, barrier control, automation, vehicle access control and access management, possibility to have a recording of license plate into database with such parameters like date and time, recognized license plate, black and white list management, visual and sound reactions, calculation of time spending within the parking territory, control model management, and multiple ANPR cameras connection in one system, up to 64 ANPR cameras, and low requirements for server performance. It means that you save your money when you use ANPR cameras Hanwha and NumberOK META. Let's speak about NumberOK META use cases. It will be use case about centralized database and alarms on listed cars. It will be free use cases for access control, black and white vehicle list management, automatic barriers opening, vehicle access control by allowed checkout time, and also double access control by matching license plate and make of vehicle. And also NumberOK META has one of features of NumberOK Enterprise, so you can have average speed calculation in NumberOK META. Let's start from the first use cases about centralized data management for all ANPR cameras. You can connect it up to 64 ANPR cameras, which recognize license plate by itself directly, and these ANPR cameras can send metadata to one server where you have NumberOK META. And due to it, in NumberOK META, you will get a general database for all ANPR cameras. And also, you can create general reports by different filters from NumberOK META. Recording of license plate into one database with such parameters like date, time, recognize license plate, you will have if you use ANPR cameras connected to NumberOK META. Do we have any question, Sergey? Or can I go further?
Let's go further, Nina, please.
Okay, thank you. Second use case is about alarm on listed cars. When you use multiple camera system, up to 64 ANPR cameras in one system with NumberOK META, ANPR cameras can send metadata to one server, and in NumberOK META you can create different groups for listed cars, and you can create up to 1,000 group and to put there up to 1,000 license plate. It means that you will have a really big list of listed cars. It will be up to 1 million listed cars in all groups, total list. And also you can set alarms for listed cars. For example, if there are up to 64 ANPR cameras in the city, you can put into a group, for example, stolen cars, and when such car appears at the street, you will get alarm for such stolen car in the NumberOK META. It can be a colored line, it can be pop-up window, etc. Sergey, would you like to illustrate it, to show it in NumberOK now or later?
Okay, let me show how to deal with these reactions. Now I'm sharing my screen. So if you want to create reaction, you will need to go to car database tab. So exactly here you manage the list of the vehicles. So we call it groups. So here in the group tab, you could create different groups. As Nina mentioned, you could create up to 1,000 groups. So for example, I just create some groups for stolen vehicles. This is here, and you see that this group have attributed with a simple access, and this access is denied. So this is a banned group, and the public transport is the next group, and I set up. So this is allowed group. Then in the vehicle tab, we add our vehicle license plate. So exactly here, you also could add some additional information about the car owner, car user, for example, some corporate vehicles, and etc., etc. And here in a car database, you could create reactions. So for create reaction, you just need to press add button, put some name for your reaction. Let's just leave it as reaction 2. You could add some description. I know, new reaction, for example. And let's choose a recognition event. When you choose recognition, you could see that different condition available for you. So you could create a specific reaction for specific group, for example. Let's put tick to the group and choose group, for example, for stolen vehicles. What does it mean? So when we will recognize license plate from the group stolen vehicle, then I want to get as a reaction some visual reaction. What does it mean? Some recognition events will be highlighted with the red color in the results tab. Also, as a reaction, I could set up to play some sound signal, show pop-up window with screenshot. Also, as a reaction, I could send an email notification. Also, you could choose as a reaction to switch some relay, for example, to turn on some external light or switch your traffic light color. And that's all. So you could see here a lot of different conditions, and you could combine it. So you could choose specific channel, and only when the vehicle from this video channel will be recognized, or I mean from this video camera, if we are talking about NumberOK META, then this reaction will appear. And Nina, I will pass word to you.
Thank you. Let's continue. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Next, access control use cases. As you know, NumberOK has inbuilt access control mode, checkpoint, we call it in NumberOK. You can create it black and white list in NumberOK, and you will have automatic access to the territory according black and white list management. Also, you can create it access by schedule for different groups from the NumberOK. You can create it up to 1000 group and to put there up to 1000 license plate, and it can be access by schedule from date to date, or for some granted entrance, or something another. Sergey will show you. And if you have ANPR camera, which can recognize not only license plate, but also make and model and color and type of vehicle, for Hanwha, today we have both products for license plate recognition and for license plate recognition and make and model recognition. You can set to the whitelist both parameters, license plate and make of vehicle, and you will increase security of your parking, because when you will get a mismatching, you will get alarm. It's a new features, and you can use it. At scheme, you can see that for access control, it can be two variants: separate entrance and exit, or combine entrance and exit. Of course, for license plate recognition, the perfect situation is when you have separate entrance and exit. For access control, will be enough to use one camera for access and one camera for exit. Sergey, would you please show us how to make access by schedule for whitelisted license plate?
Yeah, okay, let me share my screen. So, first of all, you need to make sure that you are working in checkpoint mode. For this, you will need to go to the settings, general, and make sure that you are operating in checkpoint. So when you choose checkpoint, then this checkpoint tab will be available for you. And exactly here, you could manage your checkpoint. You will need to choose which camera you want to use for the entry. Here you exactly configure the access level. So for example, for channel 1, I want to configure automatic access to all, but for the exit channel 2, I want to provide automatic access to authorized vehicles. Here exactly you will need to choose which relay will open your barrier and which relay will close your barrier. So now I am connected only one camera, and yeah, we can manage with inbuilt camera relays. And I connected only one camera, so only one relay is available for me. But we also recommend to use separate relay for closing the barrier. Also here you could configure automatic closing for the barrier. And here exactly you set up some simple access, how to manage the barrier. But access level of the vehicles you configure here in the groups. So once again, for example, for public transport, I want to configure some extended access. Yeah, and here I also have different conditions, and I could enable timetable and set up some specific date range for this group. Or for example, I want to provide access to this group only for working days, so I could choose 5 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And additionally, we could combine these conditions. So I also want to provide some duration time, only 8 hours for working days for this specific group. So that's how exactly you could configure access level to your vehicles. So you will need to configure checkpoint and then all access level configured here in groups and ACS. Nina?
Sergey, I have one question. Could you please tell us how many barriers and gates can be managed from NumberOK Meta?
Okay, so your license type meta here. So if you have the base license up to 8 ANPR cameras, then you will be able to connect up to 4 checkpoints. But for the NumberOk Meta with a license for 36 ANPR cameras, you will be able to configure up to 9 checkpoints.
And when I have license for 4 cameras, does it mean 1 checkpoint?
No. By the default, you have possibility to manage 4 checkpoints.
4 checkpoints. Okay, thank you. So let's go further. Next, access control use case about access control by allowed checkout time. When you have, for example, free parking, you can set allowed checkout time for free parking. For example, it can be 15 minutes. And it means that all vehicle can enter automatically to the parking, and only that vehicle which stay less than preset allowed time will be get free exit from the vehicle. If a vehicle stay more than allowed checkout time, it means that the barrier will not be open, and some parking manager can ask about payment. And also in NumberOk Meta, you will see calculation how many time this car spent at the parking. And so you will ask about payment, etc. For this scenario, you need to have 2 cameras for exit and 2 cameras for entry. The first camera will recognize license plate as attempt to entry. And the second camera after the barrier will recognize license plate as entry to the territory. Why you need to have such two-step verification? Because you need to be certainly sure that this car entry to the parking territory. It's not the situation when the car go to the parking and, for example, driver forgot some documents, turn around and go in the opposite direction. Sergey, would you like to show us how to make this allowed checkout time and two-step verification in NumberOK META?
Yeah, let me share my screen. For this function, you will also need to switch to parking mode because it's available only in parking mode. So we switch to parking mode, and you could see that now parking areas available for us. So before this, we already configured our checkpoint 1, and let's create some parking area. You just need to press add parking area button. For example, we have parking area with 100 parking lots, for example, and we need to set up how many vehicles we want to leave for our guests, for the vehicles which are not in groups. And here you could additionally set up the rule for entry to the territory, and you could allow it by the date range. Exactly here, you additionally could allow by the duration, entry by the duration. For example, you want to provide access only for 12 hours for your visitors. Then you need to add groups to your parking. You additionally could set up how many places you allow for this group. For example, we will set up 25 group. And you additionally could set up some specific rules. So you could set up a time limit for this specific group. For example, only 5 hours. And additional reactions for overtime. You could also set up here. So you could set up visual reaction with color. For example, for overstaying vehicle, it will be spring green. And additionally, you could set up pop-up window and to play some specific sound signal for overstayed vehicles. And also do not forget a checkpoint, which will be used for your parking lot. Yeah, it's not available because I'm not finished configuration. But nevertheless, you will need to set up checkpoint, which will source for the enter to your parking lot. So this extended access are configured here in parking mode and in parking area tab. Nina?
Thank you, Sergey. So important to remember that you can set up a NumberOK META some allowed checkout time, and that you will get calculation of time spent at the territory for every vehicle when it will be leaving from the parking. And that all vehicles which stay less than allowed checkout time will get automatic exit from the parking. So let's go further. Traffic violation. In NumberOK META, we also have one features of enterprise model. for traffic rule violation, it's average speed calculation. If you use NumberOK META and ANPR cameras Hanwha, you need to have two ANPR cameras Hanwha and to connect it to the server with NumberOK META and to calculate distance between the first and the second camera in kilometers and to put it to the NumberOK META. And in NumberOK META, you will get average speed calculation for every vehicle. And also you can set alarms for speeding. And in NumberOK META, you will see such vehicle as violators, and it can be a reaction like colored line, sound, or sending email notification. Sergey, would you like to add something to show us average speed calculation in NumberOK META?
So I could just show you where, no, not exactly. I couldn't show how to configure it because it's a little bit tricky to simulate it in Office. But yeah, the main thing here is that you will need to use at least two cameras to configure this and use this feature, because we calculate this average speed. So yeah, just mentioned that you will need to use at least two cameras when you want to measure your average speed.
Okay, so let's go further. Resume about list management. So in NumberOK, you can create up to 1,000 groups for vehicle and to put up to 1,000 vehicles in every group. So you will get 1 million listed vehicle in total. And also you can add vehicle description in group. Not only license plate, but also owner, make, color, type, etc. It will be such a note for parking manager who will see that, for example, this vehicle can be used not only for one person, but for family members. And also you can make import and export of vehicles from the list with group description to NumberOK or from NumberOK. Sergey, could I go further, or would you like
Yeah, let's go further.
Okay. Access control. First of all, you can use access control mode in NumberOK META for opening barriers for listed cars, and you can do it via cameras relay of ANPR cameras Hanwha, or using external control modules. Also, you can open barrier by schedule for every group. It can be numbers of granted entry. It can be granted time. For example, parking with limited free parking near a shopping mall. And also you can calculate time spent at the parking when the car is leaving from the parking. Sergey, we came to the technical part, so I think it will be interesting if you show us how to make choice and all settings of NumberOK META in real software. Are you ready?
Yes, guys, I was showing you how to choose proper operation mode of NumberOK. Yeah, and today I just want to show you how to connect cameras to the NumberOK META, because if you are interested in more technical details and all features of NumberOK, we have some specific technical webinars, and we are glad to meet you. And if you will have more detailed technical questions, then you could came to our technical webinar. But today I want to show you just the main feature of NumberOk, how to connect ANPR camera to NumberOk META. So for this, we need to go to the settings and choose integration tab. And here you could see LPR cameras. And for adding new camera, you just need to press this add button on the left bottom corner. And I hope you could see this pop-up window with camera settings. Please confirm, because I'm not sure. I'm just sharing only application screen. Nina, could you see the window for adding LPR camera?
Yes, I can see a description, latitude, longitude.
Yes, super.
Everything.
That's nice. Okay, so thank you, Nina. At camera type, you need to leave FF group protocol. You could add some description for your camera, and no. So is it just the name of your camera? Let's add some new camera on the road. You could set up GPS coordinates of your installed camera, and this data also could be transferred to third-party system. And main important scene, URL for connection. So here you will need to type the whole address of your computer which are running NumberOk. So you need to type HTTP :/, then // and you need to just start inputting IP address of your computer with NumberOk, and it will be added automatically. So once again, here you need to add your computer IP address, computer and port. By the default, port is 7180. So you could see it here, that default port is 7180. And do not forget to add / in the end, but never, it doesn't matter. If you even forget it, it will be generated automatically. So then you need to generate authentication data. So you need to press this generate auth data button. By the right click, you need to select all of this data and once again, copy it. So we generate authenticated data for the camera application. And now, yeah, when we press add, you could see that new camera added, but we couldn't see MAC address of this camera, and we could see the status disconnected. So let me share my other screen. Now we need to go to the camera settings. We need to open application on our camera. Now I will show you Hanwha camera. So in Hanwha camera, you could find the application in the settings, open platform. And you could see that NumberOk EDGE for Hanwha camera application already installed. You need to press this Go App button, and configuration menu for cameras application will be opening here. And this is exactly LPR recognition application running on Hanwha camera. And if we want to configure sending data to the NumberOk, we need to go to the settings tab, and you need to find here this menu, NumberOk Meta integration. So authentication data which was generated previously, we need to put exactly here. So once again, step by step, you need to, if you want to add new camera, you need to press add button, add some description, fill this URL for connection. You need to input address of your computer, generate this authentication data, copy it, and put it to the camera's application. So exactly here, you need to put this data, and do not forget to match if you put a tick to this menu, and you need to save the settings. And that's all. So also I want to mention here that status disconnected will be appear after the till that moment when you will get the first recognition on your camera. So only after that, when first license plate will be recognized on the camera application, this status will be changed to connected, and you will be able to see recognized license plate in your recognition results. And this is the main thing and important thing, how to configure NumberOk Meta to deal with ANPR application. Nina, if you want to add something.
Just a question, Sergey. If we don't have any vehicle, we can't see that our ANPR camera is connected to the NumberOk Meta. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
So maybe do you have any trip? What can we do to get this first recognition?
You can just put off your real license plate from your car, yeah, put it instead of the camera, and it should be recognized. So you need, but if you have this possibility to go to your camera and show the license plate to your camera, yeah.
Okay, so your advice is to use your own vehicle or to use some standard license plate and to activate it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, do you have any question? You are welcome, or if not, we will go further. Yes?
Yeah, let's go further, I think.
Good. Access control mode and enterprise mode. In NumberOk, as I told you, we have two built-in model. First of all, access control you can use for open barriers, for entry-exit for listed cars, and to open barrier based on the calculated parking time. For example, by allowed preset time for automatic exit. Calculation of the time spent in the parking area when the car is leaving. Not only in real time, but when the car is leaving, you will see in NumberOk Meta how many time it's spent on the territory, and possibility to have average speed calculation and alarms for speeding. Access control mode, Sergey is already show us that in NumberOk Meta you can set up checkpoint, and for it you need to go to the settings, to checkpoint, and to choose some channel or camera for exit, and some camera for entry, and also to create some rule. For example, it can be automatic access for whitelist car or for all car. So in our case, it automatic access for authorized vehicle, and determination of passage can be by a recognition zone. So you can set where recognition zone for entry and for exit, or also It can be for photo sensor inductive loop if you use inductive loop. And you need to use executive mechanism and to make some rules for automatic closing. It can be by time, by photo sensor, by recognition zone. Also, you can make additional protection when closing barrier to put some extra time. After it, when you make all the settings, you need to press button apply. And in NumberOK, maybe do you have any question about this part? Or maybe Sergey, would you like to add something about checkpoint settings?
No, I was showing how to manage these settings. So once again, guys, if you want to know some additional technical details, come to our technical webinars.
Okay. And Sergey also have already shown us how to make group. For example, in car database, we have a group allowed, wanted, VIP guest, and for all this group, we can create access by schedule. For example, it can be from date to date. It can be for some days of week. It can be for free access for some duration, for example, for some hours or for some minutes as a preset allowed time. Or it can be enable numbers of entries. So you need to choose a group and to make a rule for access, and also to press apply. Any questions? I can see. So Sergey, if you have question, please let me know. If not, I will go further.
Seems we do not have questions, so let's go further, Nina.
Okay. In NumberOK Meta, also we can use some reactions. As you can see, we have entrance and exit. So it's access control mode. And for entrance, we need to choose some events. For example, it can be a recognition event, and also we can create different reaction for this event. In our case, we choose recognition, we choose group, and direction entry. And for this group, we can create, as you know, access by schedule, as you can see below. And also we can put some reaction if we have recognition from this group when direction is entry. It can be a visual reaction like a colored row in the NumberOK interface. It can be relay reaction, for example, to close or to open relay. It can be pop-up window. We don't have now any integration with LED display, but if you have such requests in your project, please let us know and we will be able to discuss it. And also it can be as a reaction sending email notification to your mail. And for exit event is a checkpoint, and also direction exit, and duration of stay 15 minutes. It means that we allowed all vehicle to have free entry to the parking, and we, as a reaction for the vehicle which stay less than 15 minutes at the exit, we granted automated exit. Sergey, would you like to add something, or can we go further?
Let's go further, Nina.
Okay. About alarms and reactions, it can be like conditions with logic and. It means that you can have not only one condition, but it can be several conditions and several reactions. So as it can be used by license plate, by vehicle group, by vehicle type, by channel zone, by direction, by time statement frame, by duration, by parking occupancy, by vehicle brand, and by vehicle type. You can use such event, and for such event or condition, you can make such reaction. We have 6 reaction. It can be sound, it can be visual reaction, highlighting the row in the NumberOk interface. It can be relay output triggering to open barrier, to close barrier. It can be pop-up window in the NumberOk Meta interface. It can be sending of email notification as a reaction which is not directly in the NumberOk but outside of NumberOk, and add to specific group. NumberOk Meta also can be a part of the third-party software. It can send metadata to the third-party software via HTTP protocol, TCP protocol, or also you can get direct access to the NumberOk Meta database. It's Firebird database. Any question? In real time, sometimes our customer use ANPR cameras Hanwha and NumberOk Meta as a centralized data management system. And from this NumberOk Meta, via TCP protocol, send data to another server, for example, to the police server. So you can also try it. We can provide you with a free demo license. Just ask our partners Extra Vision about it, and you can have full featured demo license for any model and any numbers of channel. Supported cameras. NumberOk Meta supported ANPR cameras Hanwha. It's XNO6120 R FNP, XNO 6080 R for parking solution, or any WiseNet X or WiseNet X Lite cameras. So if you'd like to try how this NumberOk Meta system work with ANPR camera Hanwha, you need to have Hanwha camera and application, edge application for Hanwha camera, and some server for installing NumberOk Meta, and to connect ANPR camera Hanwha to the NumberOk Meta, and you will be able to test it and to make all settings as Sergey have shown us. Hardware requirements. You can use any server for 4 and 8 channel. The requirement is that it can be CPU Intel i3, 4 core and 2 thread, and 4 RAM memory, and for 16, 32, 64 channel, it should be a server also i3, for core and 2 channel, but you need to have 8 RAM. Important that NumberOK META can work only by Windows server. And if you'd like to use external control model, it can be ICP-DAS, Advantech Adam 6050, Adam 6060, and also Axis and Hanwha camera relays. That's all for today. You are welcome. If you have any question.
Yes, Nina, sorry to interrupt you. We have some questions from our guests. So first question, if number of vehicles inside the tunnels could be monitored. Yes, so if you install the cameras in the tunnel, yeah, then we could recognize license plate there and provide you this recognition results from your tunnel, and you could generate reports with information which you are interested in, how many vehicles entered or exited, etc. And the second question was about cooperating with SCADA system. So by the default, NumberOK have 2 possibilities for integration. So the main thing, NumberOK could transfer all the data, recognize data to your SCADA, for example. But for this, you also will need to make them integration in SCADA. So we could send JSON packages, for example, via HTTP protocol, or it could be integrated via TCP protocol. But yes, this integration should be done on the SCADA side. Yeah. I hope I answered your question.
Colleagues, do you have any other questions? If not now, you can mail us and we'll be glad to discuss with you your project. And also you can apply to our partner in South Africa, company Extravision. They will be glad to provide you with technical assistance, and you can buy ANPR application for Hanwha cameras and NumberOK software from Extravision. Thank you very much for your time and for your participation, and good day for everyone.
Thanks, Nina. I really appreciate the webinar, and Sergey. And yeah, like you said, if there's any questions or any technical information that anybody needs, they're welcome to contact Extravision.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.